I only use French makeup. Oh, my
Said
bad.
no.
Annabelle
I said no mayo.
No.
I'm
Annabelle
sorry. I didn't know we were
Creation.
rolling.
Annabelle Creation. Oh man, that's what we're talking about today. Welcome back to the Cast of the Pod. We are the Cast of the Pod. I'm Josh.
Cobweb in the house, baby.
Deb.
And I'm Cantu.
And Cantu. So it's been an interesting couple of weeks. We've been trying to record this one a couple of times. I got sick and then we had to hold off. And then myself, Deb, and Cobweb were going to try to record this last week. And we got like 15 minutes into it. And then my brain went stupider and had to stop. I went back and watched the footage today, Cobb, and I was like, nope, delete the whole thing. Deleted.
There was prime good stuff on there.
You know what it is?
What is it? Yes, Annabelle. So we got something special today. Hopefully it makes up a little bit for, how long we've taken with it. But I know my brother over there has something he wants to say. Cobweb.
Josh, can you please hit that intro?
Warning. This podcast is about the horror genre, specifically horror films. As most horror movies are filled with coarse language, violence and/or gore, the topics and language of the cast of the pod will also reflect the genre. If you have any issues with the aforementioned warnings, please press stop. However, if you have no issue with adult language, movie violence, or the accoutrement that accompanies horror films, please feel free to continue. You have been warned.
All right, let's get that out of here. Castofthepod.com. That'll hit you. That'll hit you up. That'll hit us up. Take you to a link tree that has all our links. You can hit up our social medias at Cast of the Pod. If you want to hit up Cobweb, he's on Instagram, Cobweb411, because he's got that information. Cantu, you want to throw anything out there or no?
You can find me at the Poor Gourmand SA on Instagram. ThePoorGourmand. I do food, y'all, and I do is it good,
bro.
That's what's up.
He does.
Yes, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just
good stuff.
Yes. Now he says he's a gourmand. That is a person that enjoys food, but you are considered a gourmet chef. Isn't that correct?
I mean, I've earned the stripes. It's not just about the title. It's about going through the steps. I do food. I does it well. I cook with all my love, and I does it different.
Good stuff.
I can do gourmet. I can do 5-star. That's boring though.
I'm glad somebody admits that.
No, hey, have you ever thought about going on to one of those shows or something like that on Netflix or anything like that? One of those cooking shows?
Like the competitions and shit like that?
Yeah.
I have. But at the time that I was really serious about trying to do it, they had this restriction where you couldn't be a professional chef. And then there was another show I wanted to do where I was like, okay, well, I'm a home chef. And they were like, yo, you got to be a professional. So it hasn't been an ambition. If it happened to fall into my lap, then I'd take advantage of it for sure. But it's nothing that I'm looking out for. I do the food out here.
I can see it, though. I can see it.
Good stuff. And I surprised him before the pod, but I'll go ahead and show you also, Cobweb. Look at this.
Word.
Look.
Create the red beard. Practice.
What?
Oh yeah, the whole life.
What? Wait. What am I seeing here?
Youngster there on the cover.
I spent about 35 years on stage and in recording studios.
Oh, snap. That's beautiful.
I started as a working musician when I was like 12. My cousin put me on and played all the instruments except the string and doing shows. And that's how I met Josh. He was trying to book some shows, some artists, and he worked with my sister. And once that happened, we connected. And he was always supporting me with the music. I was supporting him with his projects, and it. I had my own recording studio in the whole nine, man. Had to shut it down. It just wasn't viable.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My other
See,
love is food. I'm an artist.
That's beautiful. This is information that's new to me. You know me, always learning something new every day.
Well, we got to get to know each other, man.
I understand this. I understand. You know, that's the way it is here at Cast of the Pod. You know,
it's funny, outsiders that aren't us or around our neighbor or normal. I was gonna say neighborhood, around our normal groups and all that. You know, I've been accused of certain things, and we're not gonna go too far into it.
Accused.
Not between the four of us or anything like that.
Accused.
But, yeah, you know that I know nothing about a certain culture or anything like that. There are things I admit that I do not know, and I will never know and experience. I've seen, but whatever. I don't mean but whatever, but you know whatever I'm saying. But yeah, I mean we were scraping out here and promoting shows and doing this and that. I myself, I'm not going to say, you know, have appeared on 5 different CDs. I don't want to say albums, but CDs, you know, with sales over 150,000, you know, physical copies out. But, you know, I don't know anything, you know, about certain things or anything like that. But, you know.
Hey, floss it if you got it, man. Floss it if you got it, you know? I mean, what is this? Floss it This is Floss Tuesday. You know, it was like, you know,
the music industry is just about the artists. It's not, because without a support system, the artists ain't going nowhere. It ain't happening. And Josh was out there getting that work in.
That's what's up. Enough respect.
And I gave up. I don't know why. That's what the thing that sucks is I'm getting older and I'm starting to remember all the and something came up the other day and I told Deborah, you know what, we need to do this show for blah blah blah, and then it was like, oh, we don't do shows no more. We don't do
We thought about doing one.
we need to go put this down on a track, and it's like, oh well, we don't do that anymore.
We can put this down on track. You're never too old, man. Look, Slick Rick just put out a new album. You know what I mean? You never know. You know, Slick. Hey, he did something, man. I peeped it out. It was a pretty decent album. I'm not gonna front. You know, I wanted some more. You know what it was? I thought it was too short because I just wanted more. Just wanted more. That's what the problem is. You know what I'm saying? When I was sitting up there saying, man, this album too short, and I'm sitting up there thinking like it's too short, and I was like,
What's
you know
the
why
man's
it's
name?
too short? Because you want more.
What's the man's name?
Who? Which one?
Who we talking about?
Slick Rick.
Oh, I was thinking too short over here. My bad.
Oh no, I'm not going down that street. I can't. I can't deal with that part of my life no more.
I get too sensitive once we start talking about eye patches. You know, I'm just.
Oh man, please don't even let me front.
That's a sensitive subject here. I don't even hear stuff no more once that eye patch comes into play. All right, so we're talking about Annabelle Creation. It's part of the Conjuring Universe. Let's go to the MDib real quick. 12 years after the tragic death of their little girl, a doll maker and his wife welcome a nun and several girls from a shuttered orphanage into their home, where they become the target of the doll maker's possessed creation, Annabelle. Man,
That's some fucked up ass shit.
all I know is Cobweb came up with some good ideas and came up with a bunch of lists for us to start talking about here on Cast of the Pod. And then Cantu came out with Overreach or what is it? Overlord. And Deb has a couple of ideas, but I think we're gonna have to do like all the Annabelles first, because all the social media clips that we've been putting out that are related to Annabelle are just blowing up.
Well, but that's because it's true. You know what I'm saying? Because Annabelle is fucking crazy, bro. Everybody know that shit.
As far as the movies are concerned, the whole universe around the Warrens, the lore, the movies are fire. They're, man, are the basics. They take care of the basics of the horror and the thriller genre, and they keep the same vibe. It doesn't matter what part of the universe you're going to in the movies. They're done right, man.
the Conjuring verse, as they call it. I would rather call it the Warren verse, but the Conjuring verse, as they call it. One of the first podcasts that Cobweb came out, the
Was
first
The
episode
Conjuring.
was the Conjuring with us here, and that's how we became the Dream Team. But that has the two scariest scenes in the whole universe of the Conjuring verse, in my opinion. One, it has the when she's in the cellar or in the basement or whatever. What's the difference between a cellar and a basement?
I think a cellar is just a downstairs storage unit, and the basement is a whole nother like floor.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, but so
Yeah.
when they're downstairs and then they're doing the hide and seek, and then the hands come out of nowhere.
And all her girls are asleep. She's just
Oh
in the
my
baby.
God.
There's a scene when the hands come out of the dresser and do that, but the one on the stairs when the candle's on and it's dark, that's the one where like, oh shit. And then they explain Annabelle in the
beginning?
first time they ever talk about Annabelle in The Conjuring, and it shows like the like 2 or 3 girls in that apartment.
There's 2 girls.
And then all the crayon writing all over the whole room and all that, and they throw her away and she comes back and all that shit. That's scarier than this whole ass Annabelle Creation movie. I'm gonna say that right now.
Bro, let me tell you why this Annabelle thing is so real to me, dude. Because I know that shit like this is fucking possible. You know what I'm saying? I believe this shit like this is fucking for real. Because I mean, like they say, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody sit there and say, you know, you give all graces power and due, but you know, when it comes down to it, you know, there's a reason why you have to do that, because there is an antagonist. You know, and you sit up there and you looking at this shit and I mean, I couldn't imagine what it was like to be growing up in that time, hearing like the real time shit like the Warrens was doing at that time, because they was on TV shows and shit and everything, you know what I'm saying? They was like prime time seeing this stuff. So during that time, I mean, like, how would you have looked at them? You know what I'm saying? Will we look at them like we look at them now? Or will we be looking at them like they're fools, you know, during that time? Because a lot of people at that time looked at them like they were fools, like they were crazy. And now we respect the shit out of these monks. You know, it's a total different perspective, you know, now than it was then. In real life, though, for real, because this shit is, some of these stories are true.
Can't argue the point. Back in the day when they were doing this, there was a show called That's Incredible.
I remember that show.
And that's the only type of show that would have highlighted it now. And there's so much of this in pop culture now, and it pisses me off. I mean, it's a good thing for my friend Steven that has One Up Entertainment, where he sells horror t-shirts. I was going to wear that today, but I wore the shit out of it the other day and I forgot to wash it. So it's all stinky and all that. And I didn't want y'all to smell me over the pod.
You shouldn't have worn it so hard.
Yeah. Yep. But, yeah, so it's good for him because he sells horror shirts and he sells Blu-rays and DVDs and hard to find stuff horror related and video games and all that stuff. But so, I mean, it's good for him. So I hate to say this next thing that I'm saying, but I'm sick and tired of all these little conventions, these pop-ups that come up, and it's all horror this and horror that. And it's cool if you want to go buy some horror stuff or whatever, but it's just so mass market now. It's so pop culture. And we were there. We went to one the other day, Deborah and I, and it was just, you know, elbows to assholes of people, just layered of
Scary con.
yeah, stuff like that.
Exactly, bro. Man, you can't help it, man, that it's blowing up, bro. We just out. It's the fact that
People are not even buying anything.
Yeah, people ain't even buying shit. They're just walking around stinking. Look, I want to say something. I want to say this.
oh wow, it's like that.
I'm gonna say this right now. I am 300 pounds. Look. I am 300 pounds, 6 feet tall, 50 years old, right? And if my 300 pound, 6 foot tall, old ass self can walk around and not stink, y'all motherfuckers need to invest in some deodorant, some defunctorant, get some of that fat crease deodorant they have now. They have that all over body, whatever deodorant. You know, just lift
gotta
up,
layer that shit, right?
put some of that fucking, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was
It's
kind
not
of.
always the armpits. Sometimes they got that fold funk. And that fold
Oh,
funk.
bro.
That's what I'm saying.
If
That
they raise their
familiarity.
hand to say hi, it's about to be a whole new dimension. It's about to be like Annabelle.
It
Well, maybe
just
that's what they were
Annabelle smell like.
since it was a horror con.
It's the funk of horror.
horrible funk. That's what they got the funk. Too much that damn funk. It just,
Oh shit.
so
man.
so go and buy some t-shirts for my boy Steven and some deodorant while you're at it. I'm just saying.
Get that folderant.
As
the next one, we should be a vendor and sell some
selling
deodorant.
deodorant.
The serum deodorant, body spray. You gotta come with the body spray.
Deb, cast to the pod deodorant.
We call this
wow.
one Between the Lines.
You do the body right. The body shop.
You from cast to the pod. Just stick it between your cheeks.
It's the only deodorant with an applicator.
Oh
I would have had a good name for it, Josh.
What was the name?
He said the body shop.
The body shop.
shit. Bro, I love it. Cause you got to be able to, when you're working hard on the cast mobile, you know what I'm saying? If you're doing the mechanic shit, you got to be working hard. You got to keep everything going. You got to be able to withstand the funk of horror and bullshit.
The funk of 40,000 years.
The funk of 40,000 years.
Oh, shout
Bro,
out to
it's on-
Vincent Price. Are we even going to talk about Annabelle?
Yes.
We got to talk about Annabelle. The problem
other
is
day-
that Annabelle is too fucking scary to really talk about because you don't want that bitch showing up at your house because she on the run.
But before we go into Annabelle, though, when we were talking about the Conjuring Universe, we went to go see 28 Years Later, and before the movie, you know how they have the trailers. They had the trailer to the new
The
Conjuring.
new Conjuring, the last Conjuring.
Oh my god, that movie!
And it's all like, find out why this was the last. What do they call it? The last mission that they took. No, but this is the story of the last event, last investigation with Ed and Lorraine. Hey, shout out to
I have not seen that. I am not watching that trailer.
It looks scary as fuck.
Yeah,
I am not watching it. I am not watching the trailer. I'm
just
telling you
the
that now.
trailer, there was a couple parts that made me jump.
I'm not going to watch it. If I go to the show, I'm going to literally put my hands over my eyes or my ears or something. I don't know, but I'm not going to.
You're
I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to wait till the movie comes out and I'm going to watch it at the show.
Oh, you're talking about the trailer. Okay.
Yes. No trailer. I will not. I will refuse.
So let's take a break from this immersive conversation that we've had. Oh shit! Is that you? That was you.
That was not me.
That wasn't me because my
My
shit's
phone's on
mine,
silent.
mine's on silent too. See?
No, it's not. I see it right there.
No, but from this deep conversation we're having about Annabelle, where we're hitting every aspect of what's the Anniverse, and let's talk about. So Riverside, if you're recording this, clip this for us, Riverside. We're gonna talk about real quick. I want to explain to both of y'all. Have y'all seen 28 Years Later?
Yeah.
That's the new one, right?
Yes, new one.
No, I haven't. Yeah, I'm good.
I just saw Days and Weeks 2 weeks ago on purpose.
Okay, I want to say something. For anybody, spoiler alerts, and both of you gentlemen, I want to save y'all from the.
What did you call me?
They should have named this movie 28 Inches Later.
Ooh,
What did you call me?
somebody got.
Everything in this movie, 28 years later, right? They could have put in 2 30-minute, put on Max, put on Hulu, whatever episodes.
Vignettes.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious?
And
Is that bad?
Well, they explain that it's 28 years later and only the UK is infected. That's it. It's just, the UK, and then everything else is barricaded off. And like the United Nations is patrolling the island, patrolling around the outskirts of everything. Right. So it's only, I don't know about geography. I don't know about shit over there. Britain and all that Britain stuff. But so everything's kind of falling back in the world. Nobody's doing any drops. Nobody's bringing in any electricity. So everybody's, they have their own generators running stuff by wind, by hand. There's nothing modern. They have drawbridges and all that. And this one town it's an island. And during high tide, you can't get to it. And when tide, there's only one little land bridge between that. And there's no reason to shake your head yet, Cobweb. There's no, as I'm looking at you over here instead of looking up here.
Bullshit is coming.
And all this that they're explaining is great. And they're living in towns, and it's like an Irish style tavern. Is Ireland considered part of the UK? I didn't think so, right?
It's part of the UK. It's not part of Great Britain.
Oh, okay,
It's something now.
So, and they're in this like Irish pub, and they have school, and a whole bunch of drinking and Irish songs and stuff like that. And now it's time for Craven the Hunter Quicksilver to take his son out past it's the guy that played Quicksilver and Craven the Hunter and Badass, Kick-Ass.
Okay.
Is that guy. So even though he's 12 years old, you're supposed to wait till you're 16. No, my son's got it. He can do it. It's okay. He's a big man, that type of thing. And they take him out there hunting, and he's this badass archer. And they kill a morbidly obese, bearded, fat, pale-skinned, bald guy, and I was completely offended by it.
I used to,
I was offended.
Oh my God.
What kind of beef you got with them?
The rails have completely fallen off, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. No. On that one, Josh, you get it.
Look at the frying names.
The bacon grease.
Yeah.
Bacon grease. But so they killed 3 fat zombies real quick, and it's like, we're gonna go back home. You had your first kill. Let's go ahead and do that, and blah 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 blah. And as they're going back home, the 12-year-old notices that there's smoke off in the distance, right? And so he wants to go that way, and he's like, no, we can't go that way. That's you can't go over there. That's the hood. He didn't say that, but anyways, as they come back, they start running into all these other zombies, these wild ones. And it's funny because they kind of show how the skinnier ones have already deteriorated, and rigor mortis is kind of kicking in, so they move slow and rigid and all that. But then there's this new, have you seen Omega Man, I Am Legend? So now there's this troop of them, and there's a whole bunch of them, right? And they're just butt booty ass naked. And when they're running towards the camera, they're like Ken and Barbies. There's no nipples, there's no penises, no vaginas or anything like that. Just everything's kind of smooth.
Wait,
right?
they're dinglings?
No dinglings.
I don't understand. Right? First, I'm not looking for that, but no. I'm trying to understand.
So the only reason I'm looking at this was because I was warned about, it's a dick movie. It's a dick movie. Don't go watch that donkey dick movie.
Donkey dick movie?
That's literally what I was warned. So, and I'm like, ain't no donkey dicks in this movie. Yay.
He went looking.
I was happy that there were no donkey dicks in this movie, right? Hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. That's not my thing. Looking for donkey dicks, And then all of a sudden,
zombie donkey dick.
I thought we were supposed to be talking about Annabelle.
No, we'll get there. Continue rolling, Riverside, with this. And then on top of the hill, there's this big ass zombie. You see the silhouette of this zombie, and he's like 8 feet tall and shit, right? And
donkey dick.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm still over that. I'm still over the fact, Josh, that you went looking for the donkey dick. I don't understand.
No, I went because I love 28 days later. 28 days later, 28 weeks later, those are great movies, both of them. You know, the first 13 minutes of 28 Weeks Later is some of the best heart-hitting fucking like, ooh, like in zombie movies ever. In some movies, you know, it kind of relates to the blood rave scene in Blade. It's so pivotal and so like, damn, you don't even need to watch the rest of the movie.
It's the humanity. Yeah, that was like serious drama set in the zombie world. Yeah.
Yes. What, Deb?
And on Tuesdays, it's $5.
Yeah, it's $5 on Tuesdays. So you go during the summer. So I went to go see 28 Years Later. You know, it's been like 17 years since the last movie and shit. So as they show this, what's called an alpha, and he looks like a New Zealand type, like he would be singing a haka or something. It just
Maori.
There you go.
Now, did we do like the prequel to this on as an episode or something like that? Or
No, we have not. We should, but
because I believe I have not seen any of these.
So you don't need to see the first two to watch this piece of shit.
I don't even think this one is. You shouldn't even consider this one.
So as you're watching the movie, it's like, okay, this one's different than the other ones. It's kind of different. It's the world later on, and however, right? And then as soon as you see this big ass, long-haired, bearded guy, right, and his 28-inch dick,
what?
Yeah.
Butt booty naked.
You found the donkey dick you was looking for? This is not the donkey dick you were looking for.
He was not looking for it.
You don't have to look for it. You ain't gonna miss it because not only is he running constantly, the camera it hits the camera a couple of times.
No. Fuck no.
It's like they did not need to strap a GoPro onto his thigh just to get the, you know, as he's running down the hills and shit.
Josh said it was the best $5 he ever accidentally spent.
No.
I'm just glad we paid $5 and didn't pay the full price.
And then they get back to the land. They get back to their They get back to their little island, right? And you find out that these alphas is like, what's with the alphas? How come they're like that? Oh, apparently the rage virus, because they have the rage virus is the virus from 28 Weeks Later. Causes for some people it acts like a steroid, and that's why he's 8 feet tall with the, you know. So there's multiple alphas leading each of these different groups. Later on in the movie, you run into this crazy guy that's just burning bodies and oh, don't go over there. What he was doing is he was a doctor and he was burning off all the infected dead. So he really wasn't all that crazy, right? But he did, after he burned off all the bodies, save all the skulls and built towers and towers of skulls all over the place. So it's kind of
that might be the one right there.
He says it's a tribute
to
to those that have
thing
fallen.
right there that would have did it. Yeah, that'll be the tipping scale.
And so the 12-year-old's mom is sick, and you know that they're hinting that it's cancer, and you find out later on that's what it is. But there's nothing in this movie that links to any of the old stuff.
Nope.
And I forgot to tell you, at the very beginning of the movie, they try to replicate the awesomeness of the first scene of 28 Weeks Later. And it's a bunch of kids upstairs watching Teletubbies. And then all of a sudden the mom runs in and attacks all the kids. And then one kid survives.
She's like, don't open the door. She comes in, don't open the door. Whatever you do, don't open the door. And what do?
They open the door.
Yeah.
Of course.
So one kid survived.
Fuck them damn kids.
One kid survived.
I thought we already established this.
That's one of our taglines. And then you never hear anything about this kid again, right? So it gets to the end of the movie where the 12-year-old. So you're thinking, hey, Quicksilver, Kick-Ass is the kid, right? He's not. You get to the end of the movie. They're at a dead end. The 12-year-old boy who ran away from his dad and ran away from his mom and all that stuff. And trust me, it sounds like I'm spoiling a lot. I'm not spoiling much of anything. There's a whole bunch of stuff I still didn't say.
It's a spoiler if you don't catch the whole movie. We just caught the whole movie, so
Yeah, I just saw the whole movie, Josh, and I honestly tell
No,
the
you
truth.
didn't.
I honestly
Trust
tell the truth. I wasn't. I mean,
Trust-
if it wasn't for you telling the story, I wasn't impressed. I mean,
This is the last part I'll tell you. He runs down the road into a dead end that's all barricaded and all that, right? And here comes this one zombie. Just comes out, snipers it with the arrow, or blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, here's this guy in this Adidas tracksuit,
Oh, nice.
wearing a Mr. T level amount of chains, including the cross that the boy from the beginning of the movie was wearing. So this is the boy from the beginning of the movie, and he's got blinged out teeth and all that. And he goes, "Oh, you seem to have done very well on your own, but how about you let us give you a hand?" And then the camera pulls back, and it's a completely different style of recording and everything like that. And then there's every single color of the rainbow jumpsuits people standing around, right? And then here come all these butt naked ass zombies running down the street, right? And then all these tracksuit motherfuckers start flipping into frame, Power Ranger style, like jumping over the camera and flipping
What the fuck
and
is this
three-quarter
shit?
rolls and all that, and then bringing out nunchucks with razors on the fucking chains, cutting heads off of zombies and stabbing with spears and flipping them up, and another guy's doing like a spin from Metroid and cutting them open with the sword.
And they waited how long to make this sequel?
This makes it has nothing to do with the other two. I'm sure they're gonna find a way because they're making a trilogy.
For
It
this
doesn't
one.
make any sense to me at all. It doesn't. I mean, I never saw any of them because I'm not that big of a zombie kind of guy. But this shit right here sounds like fucking.
It has nothing to do with the first two. It has nothing to do with the first two. I'm sure they're gonna find some cryptic way to tie it into the third one, so people go, "Oh, it makes it." No, it doesn't make sense.
It's like that Silent Hill shit. What's that Silent Night? The
no,
Silent Night
no.
one.
It was good.
Silent. Yeah.
It wasn't great, but it was good. This
So, and then it comes out online that all these English people are like, "Oh, these stupid Americans are saying it's the Power Rangers, but they really don't realize that it's blah 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 blah." And the inside joke, the British joke, is that it's reminiscent of this kid diddler. So the heroes of the end of this movie are fashioned after a kid diddler in England. Oh, they don't even get it. Blah 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 blah. I'd much rather have it be stupid Power Rangers than pre Diddy.
My life has just I've God help us.
Beautiful scenery in this movie. Beautiful.
This is what we do now. This is what we do now.
Horrible fucking
This is
movie.
what we do now in horror. We just scare us with reality.
No, there is no reality in this movie. No.
Oh shit. So let me.
What were you talking about?
We were supposed to be talking about Annabelle Creation. We talk about Annabelle Creation.
completely went off the.
Look how red my face is.
Man, bro,
That was $5 I need back now.
bro, you spent that $5. That's on you. I would have watched that shit on fucking, on that stick.
Allegedly.
But
Allegedly.
28
Allegedly.
days later and 28 weeks later are two very good.
Demand
They're very
that
good.
you see.
And so waiting this long for 28 years later, we were really, really excited. Like, we really don't go to the
movies,
theater.
the theaters.
It has to be a really good movie when we want to watch. So
It was
this
that bad.
was like, I was excited to see it, and
The
it put
fri-
me to sleep.
How would the
Oh,
French?
it's on Dev's Put Me to Sleep top. You paid
Yeah.
money and you went to sleep on it in the movie theater?
Yep.
Ooh, that's not good.
This 28 years later is what the French would call garbage.
Garbage.
Actually, it was a good $5 sleep.
The chairs were comfortable.
The chairs are very comfortable.
Bro.
I just needed a pillow and a blanket, and that would have been good.
Okay, so far we've talked about body fold funk, and 28 inches later with the Rainbow Coalition of Benetton Power Rangers. Let's get back to Annabelle Creation, gentlemen. Would either one of you have anything specific you want to say about this movie?
to open, Sister Charlotte, what's up?
Okay. That's Stephanie Sigmund.
That's my opening salvo to this conversation. What's up, Shadi?
Well, she's Valeria Velez from Narcos.
What that habit do?
She was, yeah. That junk there, bro. That shit was all fucked up, man. How that demon came for that little girl like that. That was really fucked up. That was really messed up how I isolated her like that throughout this entire movie. And it was like, it played victim on her so much when she was injured like that, you know?
The one with the leg.
Yeah, the one with the leg.
They all had legs, but Forrest Gump's sister.
Yeah, that junk was fucked up, bro. They took advantage of her big time. It took really advantage of it, and it just really just ran rancid through it. Whew.
Well, she
So
should
much
have gone into the
wrong
room.
was done. It's evil. These movies are so well done. Like, it was evil. It's always an idiot that opens the fucking door. Literally.
Yeah.
Idiot opens a door that you're not supposed to open. Why don't you listen to somebody that says, like, this is my house. I've been here for like 8 generations. We don't open the door. Hey, I'll open the door. And then,
wait, did you tell them that at the beginning? All of them don't go in that door.
He told her, "Don't go in here."
Don't go
She
in
was
here.
about to try to open the door. He stood right in front of her and said, "Do not go into this room."
Yeah.
And what did she do? She goes into the room.
It was calling her. It was like Pookie.
So when the boss from Empire Records tells you, don't go into that room, you don't go into that room. All right, listen here, children. First of all, you shouldn't be listening to us. So fuck that. Y'all shouldn't be listening. Y'all shouldn't be listening to the words that we use and all that, because words are powerful.
You ain't lying about that.
But if you go somewhere and they tell you don't go into this room, we don't go in there. Don't do it. Don't do it. And then if you go into the don't do it room and there's a door that has a lock on it, don't open the lock. And if you do happen to go in the don't go into room and you see a door that has a lock and you happen to break the lock off or open the lock with the key that's hidden in the magic dollhouse.
Wait, hold up. And the door is covered in scripture.
Yes.
Was it covered on the outside?
No, it's
The entire door and all the walls were covered in scripture.
So that's my next point. As if once you unlock the lock, the magic with the magic key in the dollhouse that looks just like that has a doll that looks just like you,
The magic wallpaper.
and you open the door, and there's a whole bunch of Bible stuff and all that on the walls, and there's a scary ass doll sitting in the spotlight, just
Staring
looking
right
at
at you, right off the bat. Staring right at you into your soul.
Close
She was
the
fucked
door.
by then. That
Close
was
the
it.
door, you
It was
lock
too
it,
late.
and you throw
Man,
away
it's
the
too late.
There's no turning
late.
back.
Then you go tell somebody, I fucked up, my bad. Own up to it. Own up to it. You fucked up.
Dude,
But I digress. First of all, children, y'all
That's
shouldn't
when
be
I-
fucking listening to this podcast. Fuck off.
kids wouldn't be doing that.
Fucking
They do that
kids.
shit. That's what they do.
That's why fuck
That's
them
what they
kids,
do.
because they go and do that. They go and open magic doors.
Man, dude. Fuck that shit, dude. That shit was
You
fucking
know what? I don't
terrifying.
understand though.
Trigonometry?
Well, besides that,
What?
so when she opened the door, but she really didn't open the door. She walked to the door and the door opened.
Yeah.
How did the door open?
Because she
It was-
had the key.
She broke
and
the
it
seal.
knew,
It was
it knew
her
she was
will.
going to do it. Exactly.
It was her
Yep.
will. When it comes to things like this, it's about the will. As long as you have somebody with the intent to do it, then it's like inviting a vampire into your house. As soon as she
Yeah.
touched that doorknob with the intent to open it, that was letting the vampire in.
It was calling to her, bro. It was calling
Next
to her.
thing you know, there's going to be some Irish guy trying to steal your music, trying to sign you to his label. And
Wait. Okay, but hey, you gotta admit, hey,
with a lot
you know what
of
this
wine, I'm gonna let it shine.
this motherfucker is. Bro.
At the end of this episode, I have a question. I don't want to go in here, but
But yeah, but you know what this all boils down to?
What is that?
It all boils down to what's the biggest money seller in Hollywood? What's the easiest thing to tell a story about?
You're not supposed to bring up those people.
Grief.
Oh yeah, that.
Grief. That's
Yeah,
what this is
no,
all
that-
about. They couldn't deal
that-
with their grief or the loss of their child, and this is what you get.
That's the low hanging fruit for people. That's the easiest way in. Grief, and hunger and horniness. Those three things.
Grief,
But they
hunger,
were
and
trying to
horniness.
help. If he wouldn't have opened his house to them, they were.
Because he was grieving, like Cobweb said, he was grieving because of the loss of that's the worst part of this movie. That's
But
the
why would
scariest
you
part of
have
this movie.
some kids to your house when you got some shit like this in your house?
When you have
Okay,
that
it ain't like you got like a
demon-ass
bad
wife
pipe.
with the porcelain face and all.
Oh
that.
my gosh, man,
Let
that's
me
too
say
much.
this.
We having that's too much.
Let me
That's
say
too
this
much.
right now. The scene at the beginning of the movie, when everything's all happy and everything's all good, and then they blow a tire on the side of the road, and then they got to replace the tire, and then it goes all Christmas story to the fudge,
Man,
and then it rolls out into the street, and she's like, "I'll get it!" Boom, just instantly, just
How did they not know the van was coming though?
this long ass dirt road 50 miles that way, 50 miles that way, and then just out of nowhere, as soon as she's like, I'll get it, steps right in, and then they show it on TV on screen, and it just instantly cuts with the impact. Was that was the hardest part of the movie to see, and the most shocking part of the movie, the most jump
that is a
scare.
good point. Wait, no, wait. You got to back that up. Deb's got a pretty good fucking point right about that. Okay, they're down in the middle of this goddamn street. It's not like this truck couldn't have just popped up out of the goddamn blue. Okay,
And it wouldn't be
It's like-
quiet because it was a dusty road in the country. You would have heard these
Right.
old 1948s ass cars.
right? Why was she? What?
Their
I
car,
can see
their
the
car was
parents that-
more important than them kids.
I could see the parents not realizing because it was real quick, like the thing fell. And she's like, I get it. And she like ran. But I'm saying, how did the little girl like, oh, let me just jump in front of this van because my dad needs this nut thing to put in his car.
Everything in
Freaking
here
Pet
was the parents'
Cemetery.
fault.
Some
Yep,
Pet Cemetery shit, you know?
parents' fault.
It goes back to Pumpkinhead. Bad parenting on Pumpkinhead.
Parents' fault.
Pumpkinhead shit, right? He left his kid outside.
Michael
Well,
Myers.
That's the thing. That was some 80s shit in Pumpkinhead. We used to do that. I was left alone like that when I was a kid, you know? That's just the way it was, you know? We were.
There is something that I experienced as a kid. I think we talked about it on pod when we were out in the front yard, and it was me, a couple of my nephews, and my niece. My niece ran across the street, got hit by a car. She actually fell down as the car was coming towards her. She didn't get hit
Oh,
by the
shit.
car. She fell down, and the front tire went right over her abdomen, not her rib cage, but her abdomen, and they stopped. So she was in between the two tires. So the front tires rolled over her, and then they hit the brakes, and so the back tires didn't come and hit her. Right, perfectly fine. My niece Amanda,
Whew.
perfectly fine. Had the tire marks on her shirt. They took her to the hospital and everything like that. They did all the scans, and yeah, she lucked out. Like if it would have been a little higher, it would have gone over her rib
That ain't
cage.
luck, bro. That ain't
Or a
luck.
little bit lower. Yeah, I know what you mean. Or a little bit lower would have like crushed her pelvis. But it rolled perfectly over, and no ruptures of the intestines or anything like that. And it's
Well,
fucking
per,
crazy.
per the movie lore, that means her parents weren't responsible for that situation. If her parents would have been involved in the area on the scene neglecting her, then she wouldn't have come out so squeaky clean.
Oh yeah, my brother would have instead of like, I don't want to deal with you, kid. Go outside and play. Yeah, that's on my brother.
Shit. Fucking
Not that I
crazy.
was supposed to be watching them, but I was like 11, 12 years old. Don't.
Come
A
on, dude.
kid talking about my nieces and nephews.
Hey, man, come on.
Bro, that's my half Mexican side. 11 years old with 9-year-old nieces and nephews, or being 11 years old with 16-year-old nieces and nephews.
And your uncle is 6.
Yeah.
Your uncle's 6.
Go
And
take
he's
care
in
of
charge.
go take care of your 12-year-old.
Your 12-year-old nephew, yeah.
You're the uncle. You should be more responsible.
Why can't you be like Javier?
Okay, money for that. Funny.
The thoughts and views.
And it's
of-
true because one of your nephews is what, like 3 years younger than
I have a niece and nephew that I went to high school with. It just-
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Did you call him uncle and auntie? Or what is
no,
it?
I'm the uncle.
Oh, you're the uncle? So
I'm
they
the
used to call you uncle? That's
Yeah,
class.
Theo.
And he used to ask them for lunch money.
Still do. Oh my god.
Oh, that's a family, man. Family's good. Family is good.
Welcome to the South and the West Side.
So in this movie, like I said at the beginning, the short 4 or 5 minute video of Annabelle in The Conjuring is better than this whole damn movie. You know, it starts off with we were just talking about a husband and wife that lose their daughter. Many years, if not decades down the road, they welcome in this group of kids that they lost their orphanage. And just like I think you said, Cobweb, why would you invite somebody in? The wife has been possessed by an evil spirit, and the spirit's also inhabiting the doll. And they show the nun in this movie, right?
Yes.
Those are the two main bad guys in the Conjuring verse: the spirit that inhabits Annabelle, and then the spirit that's the nun, which is the guy. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen any of the nun's actually a guy.
But this whole podcast
And that has nothing to do with they them stuff. It's a guy pretending to be a nun in the whatever.
I'm
I want to
lost.
go back and watch the Conjuring Universe from the beginning.
You can
Okay.
watch it in order. Watch it in order, you know.
Yeah.
I have the list of it.
Yes.
And the nun is the first one.
Uy, cucuy.
We were just doing that with Insidious.
Am I getting confused with like Sleepaway Camp, or is the nun actually female and it's just the actor is a guy?
I think so.
I don't know.
The nun. I thought the nun was a nun, Josh. You kinda,
Sleepaway Camp was subtitled 28 millimeters later.
Cobb, have you seen Sleepaway Camp?
Yeah, I see Sleepaway. That's some
I've
bullshit.
only seen Sleepaway Camp once, and it was when I was little. I haven't seen it again. But
That's good enough.
out of
That's
the
good
whole
enough.
movie, that's the only thing I remember from it is the end.
If
Well, I
you're
think
watching a
that's all
movie,
it
you're going to be playing a real
So-
crying game.
So now, wow.
For real, still.
Hey,
Shit
I'm
ain't
here till
worth it.
Tuesday. I'm here till Tuesday.
Wow.
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth watching.
Talking about Sleepaway Camp, I remember watching that movie.
Wait!
the
I
whole
thought we was
time.
talking about Annabelle. Why do we get
No,
this?
no,
Annabelle
we
is a
made
decent movie.
left turns, right turns, and all that.
And U-turns.
No, but
What-
going back
so what?
Sleepaway Camp,
Go ahead,
we
Sleepaway
wanted
Camp.
to do Sleepaway Camp because it's a classic horror film. We wanted to do that a while back, and then it was like, nah, maybe we shouldn't talk about that. People getting canceled about that type of situation, blah blah blah. It's not our fault that back in the day when that movie came out, the fact that a male felt that they were a female, and at the end of the movie you find out that the bad girl from the whole movie was actually a dude and whatever, and that was shocking back then. So that's talking about then. That's not talking about now or anything like that. And if you watch the movie not bringing any kind of prejudice or not prejudice for they them type people, you watch the movie and it's like, and then it ends.
It was.
And that
It wasn't
person-
a career ender. It wasn't. It wasn't a disruptor. It was just, whoa, that's fucked up. And then everybody went about their lives.
And then not only was it that, and the reason it was fucked up was because that person was just there like,
No, with the
I
knife.
wasn't. My life has not been. My life has not been the same since. Okay, that's okay. Let me be honest with you. All right, I have not been the same since the end of that movie. Because let me tell you, it has left an emotional. And Deb has got a scar too. All of you are scarred from seeing that scene in that movie. Okay, that is a scar. Okay, there's movies in this world that when a scene comes on that you're fucking scarred, that you wish you never saw that part, like any of that fucking human centipede shit. That end of that motherfucking movie. Okay, scar for life. Done. Thank you very much.
I don't know if I've said this on pod, but we didn't going on another tangent. we never finished Human Centipede because it was so fucking stupid. Hi, we're girls on the side of the road. Let's go up to this house, and here's this scary German guy. Oh, come in with the special drinks I made just for you.
Because I
Get
knew
the
you were
fuck
coming.
out of here. Get
Wow,
the
you sounded German.
Oh yeah, that yeah, very
The
German.
scary German guy
Yes. He,
from the Monster Squad.
I
Dude,
mean, this
you know what they
is
should have
something
did?
different.
They should have put
And
that
this-
motherfucker together. Him and a dude from Beazle. Put them two motherfuckers together and let them motherfuckers work
No,
for
but-
Diddy and see what the fuck they come up with.
No, but the reason on Human Centipede I didn't get through it. It was just so fucking stupid. We didn't get to any of the gross parts because it's just like the movie Step Brothers. Y'all seen Step Brothers?
I love Step Brothers.
I hate that movie with the
I love
fucking.
Step Brothers.
Both actors are great, and the comedy is fine. But I watch Step Brothers, and I cannot separate myself
On the
from
boat.
reality in that movie. And I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, they fucked up his boat. They're ruining his lives. Kick them out in the fucking street. These are grown ass men that are ruining everything. Fuck them. Like, and that's what happens when I see Step Brothers. And when I was watching Human Centipede, I'm like, bitch, get out that house. Get out that house. I don't care if it's raining. Walk in the rain. Walk to the next house. Why are you gonna walk up to a house that looks like a Transylvania fucking castle?
Wait, why don't you like? How could you not like? I don't understand. Wait, back up. You just said that you hate Step Brothers.
I just explained out why there was some splaining to do, and I said it. It just because I cannot separate myself from it, and I know it's a work of fiction. I know it's a comedy and all that, but I just see them ruining their parents' fucking lives, spoiled ass, brat ass kids.
So
And he
there's
came
this-
downstairs and was whooping his ass.
It's a Catalina fucking wine mixer.
Are you
There's
gonna
this-
get
there's
it
this
out, mister?
simple concept when it comes
Shut up
to
when you're next.
reading or watching movies or engaging in entertainment when it comes to fiction, and it's called suspending your disbelief.
That's
It
what I was
means
trying.
just open yourself up to everything so that you can enjoy what's happening. It looks like you have mastered suspending your disbelief. Like you're watching Step Brothers and like, this is so real. Ooh.
Oh my god!
I
And
do
then when
not
you're
know
like,
why.
these are grown ass 42-year-old men, and you're like, fuck them kids.
Yes, exactly.
Meanwhile,
They completely fucked up their parents' marriage.
your 4-year-old uncle is giving you lunch money. And you,
It's probably because that's like possibly real. Like there's probably two stepbrothers in somebody's, their mom and stepdad's house or stepmom's house acting like that. So the way
Yo,
the
we've
world
been
is
at this
today-
just under an hour, and we've spoken 6 paragraphs of 2 sentences each about Annabelle.
Did I hit record? Wait.
We
Yeah.
should have to retitle this.
It's because Annabelle was so good. Like normally when I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was
like
good.
the
All
Annabelle
of these
Creation.
movies
I like
in this
it.
verse are good.
I did like it. It was just fucked up how they allowed their grief. People just don't know how to deal with that shit. You know?
They
This is my
summoned
least
a demon with their grief. They locked
Yes.
the demon away. They didn't get rid of it. They just put it into a room. And they said, you know what? My grief is so much. Let's bring a bunch of strangers into the house. Let's bring a bunch of young girls into the house. And they
Wait,
didn't
why would
expect that door to get open.
why would they keep it? Right? I
didn't
don't
think
understand that either. When
Well,
the
because
priest
they didn't-
came, when the
because
priest
they didn't-
came, why would they just say take it with you?
The priest said, you know what? Just put her into the TV room, the first TV room. Put her in the broom closet. Yeah. And you know what? We're going to wallpaper it with these verses. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we do. That's right. That's what we do.
They probably
And,
made that glue. They made that glue as homemade glue.
Oh, hold on. For those, I don't know with Cantu, but Cobweb and I have had this conversation where he is not into where Deborah and I were doing hunts, ghost hunts and spirit chasing and all that. You would not want to remove the vessel. because after the wife got sick and after she got attacked and she got the scar on her face and all that, they felt, I would assume that they felt that they contained it in the vessel of Annabelle, in the doll. And if you would have got rid of the vessel, if it was attached to the location, which a lot of them are attached to locations, they're attached to people. And what they touch on in the Conjuring movie was that they had so much belief in the doll that those people in the apartment, the two girls and the guy or whatever, actually invited the demon, the entity into the doll.
Yeah, it's like the Tolpa concept. Yeah,
right, because they thought it was the doll, but it wasn't the doll. They opened the door. The grief of losing their child opened the door to them, and then they can find the what had stepped into their grief and into the wife. They can find it into the doll, and then they locked up the doll, thinking that it was going to be safe. And when they opened the door, it left the doll, and it would go back and forth into it.
Specifically, the wife in the movie said, "We open ourselves for any help from anywhere to have her back."
Shit.
That's what happened. They went beyond their beliefs and asked for anything to help them. And again, when it comes to opening doors to evil, it's figurative. It doesn't have to be a door. Because if you open your soul to anything, anything is going to come through. And only the most powerful shit will.
And if you're
movies.
Not only the most powerful shit, but if you say, come on in, then you got to watch out for Cornbread's big ass sitting on your couch.
Cornbread?
From Sinners.
Oh, that motherfucker there. I forgot.
His big sweaty ass, no t-shirt having on underneath his fucking overalls and shit, sitting on your couch, just getting that greasy sweat. Cornbread has some greasy sweat.
I don't think they really care about it at that point.
What if it's a brand new couch?
You can buy a new one. That's what Rick James would have said. I was buy a new couch.
I was hoping
Stacks
one of
can
y'all
buy a
would
new
go.
couch. Fuck your couch, Stacks.
What did
And speaking about opening doors, I have a question. So now, I don't know if I had a dream about this, that me and Josh had this conversation, or if it really happened.
Oh.
But this conversation was about a vampire. I don't remember how we came out to talking about it. Do you remember? Was it real life?
Back to life.
So if a vampire is pretending to be like an officer and has a warrant and says, I need to go into your house, I have a warrant, can a vampire come in, or do you still need to give that vampire permission?
It has permission. It has legal permission.
No.
I don't think that the realm of spiritual good and evil, especially here in this country, I don't think that piece of paper holds it. I think the understanding is that you know that there's something wrong and that you still invite them in.
I understand this completely. And I can see how this can work. First of all, no one can give a permission for your own threshold for your home to come in, no matter rights. It's your threshold for you to invite whoever you can come into your home. And second, when you have a warrant, you just come in. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have permission to come into the house. You just come into the house and get what you want.
So they wouldn't have power if they exercise the warrant. They would just be in there, but they wouldn't be able to place themselves in there and do what they do.
Exactly.
So when does and where does this spiritual covenant of home become a thing? Like, what if you go somewhere? What if you go somewhere and you're comfortable somewhere, and that is your spiritual home, but it's not your place?
Because it's the threshold is built
out.
The threshold is built around the life and the entity and on the home and the feelings and everything that comes inside of it. You know, like a house is not a home. It's all built around that, the emotions and everything that goes on from the years, the frustration and pain. That's what builds up a threshold upon a home. Yeah, like my house has been since '94. It has a lot of built up emotion and everything into it that builds up on top of each other and everything else like that. and that's where it comes at that.
I counter that point with the fact that when I was a child, the skate rink was more my home than my house was.
Did you feel like you were visiting the skating rink?
Nope. That's where I was me. That's where.
But that's what you may have felt. But if a vampire ran up on your ass, it would devour you, motherfucker. Because that is not a threshold. Because that is not a home. That place would not have a threshold. That is a place where people go in and out, in and out.
It was a shelter.
Yeah.
But what if the vampire goes, I thought home is where you hang your hat?
And I just hung my hat on the door right there.
If
At
that's
the
a vampire that's hitting you up, you don't have a problem.
Yeah.
You could flick one bean of garlic at him, and you'll be like, ah!
Right. If it's coming to them technicalities,
Excuse
he's
me, is
asking
that
that
your
shit.
hat hanging? Well, then I'll just slip on through. And that's not. I would let that vampire in.
Cheerio.
I'll be like, yo, I
Bitch
hang my
slap
hat
his
in my
ass.
bathroom. Clean that motherfucker.
You're like, what's that chick in the movie? They had the vampire living in a fucking garage and shit.
Red Snow. Not Red Snow. What was it? Yeah, we saw that one. That was a horrible movie we talked about here in Cast the Pod. Go back on the past episodes, listen to those. Shout out to Club 3P. We need to start each episode with a shout out to Club 3P.
Yes, we do.
Big shout out. There are several members there, but the most interactive ones are Sean and Matt Martinez. Thank y'all.
Oh yes. We've had some other people too. Yeah.
And then Brendan. Brendan would be right there in third place with interaction.
Yeah, I would say that too. I was kind of surprised. I was surprised that some of the people that we gave our subscriptions to, they didn't say anything. I don't know.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them damn kids. There we go.
But yeah, are we ready to hear it? Are we not hearing it?
Oh yeah, hit that music, that noise in the background. I didn't even realize it was. What is that?
Oh no.
What do you got to say, Deb?
Nothing.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You don't want to talk? What do you sound like there's something you want to talk about?
No, I thought it was something else.
What were you thinking?
Nothing.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Hold on.
What is she thinking?
We got a call. Do you want to play the call before we do the rating, or do you want to do the call after the rating?
You already said there's a call.
Run the
Might
call.
as well play it. Play it.
Cantu, have you heard some of our call-ins?
I have not. I've only listened to episodes that do not contain any.
Okay. So this is one of our usual callers, the most prolific caller to Cast of the Pod, and it's been a long time. Are y'all ready? Let me lower the music. Here we go.
Hello, it's Chuckie, and Josh and Deb told me I needed to call back on the hotline, so I called, and Josh said that y'all were going to talk about the movie Annabelle, and it seems so scary, and but it's the Annabelle Part 1, but it's not Part 1 because it happened like long after the other one, so it's Annabelle Creations ice cream. And so I saw the movie, and it wasn't really all that scary. It just had all these little girls that were running around, and then the lady, the nun, like the ones from St. Margaret Mary's where I went to school, and I was left-handed, and they would hit me on my left hand with the ruler, and so that part was kind of scary. But Annabelle was there, but you know what? I went to go see Annabelle in San Antonio, and it wasn't the same Annabelle. This was the one, she had like red yarn for her hair.
Raggedy
it was
hair.
the ends. And so, I mean, like the scary one wasn't all that scary because it wasn't the real one. And I saw the real one, but the real one didn't look scary because, I mean, I know, like when I saw her, like her head turned around and she followed me around the room and all that. But, I mean, she was kind of cute. She looked like a little sailor girl with the red, white, and blue on. And, I mean, so now the scary one's not scary. But the worst part of the movie was when the dad, like, the tire blew up on the truck, and they were gonna change the tire like on Christmas Story, and then he says, "Oh, fudge," but he didn't say fudge. He said the fuck word, and it was
Fuck
scary like
word.
that. And then the little girl just stepped right in front of the car, and boom! But she died, and that was really sad. And then like everybody in the movie died, and the girls went back home. So all right, the movie wasn't scary. Like the other movie of the Annabelles was scary. But yeah. Hello cobwebs. Hello Cantus. And yeah, bye Debs. Thank you.
Thank you. Please drive through.
Yeah.
I don't know who
Big-
that was, but I promise you, I stood behind them for about 25 minutes at the Texas Thrift.
Thank you.
He's probably the first one we're gonna sell deodorant to.
Hello, whoever that is.
First
I
of-
don't know your name, but I remember you.
It's Chuckie.
That's Chuckie. Chuckie is a regular.
He just hadn't been around for a while.
I honestly didn't realize that listening to Chuckie's call, like the 20 times that I listened to it, would curve my opinion about the movie. You know, I honestly, I was like, what? We finally got another call? And then I hit it, and then the voice comes through, and I'm like, oh, man. Hadn't heard from Chuckie in a while. And I listened to it like 20 times before we potted, y'all.
Well,
Okay,
I'm
so-
telling you this right way. Go ahead, Contu.
No, you-
I'm
you
really
please, sir.
vibing about this shit.
I'm just visiting.
I don't understand what part was I not clear about this shit. Okay, I precisely said to any of our listeners, if that motherfucking Chuckie, that dog, Annabelle, come to your city for your ass not to go. Didn't I say that? I remember. I precisely said that.
I think he heard you say, "Go."
Go. I never. No. I did.
No, but you know Chuckie.
You know how Chuckie is.
On the cool, that sounds like somebody that didn't hear exactly what you said. So you say no, and he probably heard go.
Yeah.
If
Bro,
you
bro,
say
this is not
he
my
probably
ex-wife.
heard next.
Okay, no. Okay, no.
He's probably one of the kids that we're talking about that you say don't go into the room, and guess what? He just went into the room.
Now that you said that, Deborah, Chuckie, next time you call in, bro, do us a favor. We won't put it out online or anything like that unless you want us to. How old are you, Chuckie?
And you were supposed to put the rating.
Yes, you were supposed to rate it also.
I bet
That
you
way
he's younger than his nephew.
He said the dog was following his ass around the damn room, turning his
Yeah.
head and shit.
Yeah, the
Okay,
real one. The real one
I'm
is a
done.
Raggedy Ann. Are you familiar with Raggedy Ann? The real one's a
Yeah.
Raggedy Ann doll. Yeah. I think we talked about this, right?
That makes sense why he said that she had red hair.
Red
Yeah.
yarn hair with the sailor hat. Yeah, Raggedy Ann.
Bro, I didn't
and
like the
Andy.
concept. No, I didn't like the fact that when I was looking up the story, they actually had a real picture of it and shit in that
Yeah.
motherfucking shit, and I didn't like that, and I got that in my head, and I'm kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
So-
that's the freak factor right there. That it's not about a menacing appearance. Evil will come to you in the most pleasant ways.
Man,
What's
Wait,
that noise?
what was that? No, yeah. Oh, I guess if I would have turned the sound back up, that
We heard
would
it
have-
on this
that
side.
would have helped. Stop the music. Oh shit! It's frozen. Well, it's this Annabelle movie. Hold on. Let's reboot the stream deck.
Annabelle.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
What was that? What? Faint in the distance. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, this is the part of the podcast where we welcome the motherfucking calculator of doom, la calculadora de doom, and where we rate it from a 0 to a 10. Anything under a 5, I'm not gonna watch that shit again. And Cobweb's bringing out a book.
He's got calculations.
Calculations. He's gonna show the work.
What? What? Don't you have your merch?
Oh, your MERS travel book. Okay. I see it. But so who wants to go first?
I can go first. I'm gonna be honest with you. All these Annabelle stories do scare the shit out of me. This one was a little bit more kind of fucked up because they trying to. When I know how they can do to scare you, and the easiest way to scare you is with hanging fruit was when you start terrorizing young children.
Mhm.
And that's an easy way to get you really scared because they feel as if that that they're helpless and they're limited to what you can do, so you automatically relate and you get to it. So they went for the low hanging fruit on this one. I mean, when they tried to do this one for the scare tactics, and it worked a little bit for me. It was fucked up. I think it was like, if that's how Annabelle came to creation, if that's how I got there, then that's how I got there. That's all we needed to see. That's all we needed to see, and we know how it is. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Damn.
I watch it again. I've watched it a few times. I mean, I tell you, all these I can't see, out of all these movies that we've seen, out of the Conjuring thing and stuff like that, I can't say none of them are bad. I've enjoyed every single one of them. You know what I'm saying? There's none of them that's been a flop to me, and to a standstill. I mean, I will watch even the poorest one. I will probably watch 2-3 more times. I've seen every one multiple times.
That's real respectable. Like, have you even seen The Curse of La Llorona?
I don't understand why that's part of
It's
the.
part of the universe.
I don't understand why.
Word.
Now, there's a few of
Llorona
those.
is part of this universe.
Part of
Yes.
the Warren verse, part of the Conjuring verse.
That makes me a part of the universe.
Yep.
Because I think they did mention him or something like that in one of the stories in the movie or something like that, right? I
Yep.
can't remember which one it was.
I'll look it up.
I still haven't seen the movie.
I now feel imbued with a special dark power.
I did see one of them that was really good. The one I did see about the curse of it was really tight. It was good.
All right, who wants to go next? I want to go next.
All right, go ahead next. Ain't nobody stopping you. Shit.
So, I mean, as much as I love The Conjuring, and I know Cobweb wants to get into the Insidious universe, which also holds a special place with us. This one is my least favorite Annabelle story, and I'm gonna give it a 6. Because all the other ones are so good. This one being the weakest one is what drops the score down for me.
And I think that makes sense, saying the weakest one, because this would be when literally she came into existence. So she would have ostensibly built up more powers by the time we get to the rest of her story, right?
She was working her way up to come to San Antonio.
Now she's up in the big leagues. It's her turn at bat.
Me personally, this movie, I like it. I like everything in this Conjuring universe, as you corrected me earlier. They keep a common theme. They keep a common perspective. The lighting, the shadows, the scoring, the scare points, all of it. Even though it's predictable, they do it so well. It's entertaining every single time, and it's not campy, and it doesn't get boring. These movies, watching them with fresh eyes, are so good. You watch them the first time, it's like, oh my gosh, okay, that was really effective. So much so that the storytelling, it's like, I'll watch this again. Like Cobweb said, I'll watch these again. This one, what's up, Sister Charlotte? Hey. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in the universe. You didn't hear? You didn't, like, Llorona is in this universe. That means I'm in this universe. So that means, what's up, Charlotte? Anyways, I'm gonna give this movie a 7. There are others in this universe that are better, and I want everybody to take note. And nobody's mentioned in this one anyway. The Baphomet bat demon that comes out in every single episode. It's a black winged. It looks like Baphomet and a bat cross comes out of the scarecrow. It's on all the stairs. It's always on a ladder. It's always behind a door. You gotta catch it. It's on every single one of these movies, and it's out of place, but it's there. And if you haven't seen it, you gotta check it because it's in there, and it runs through all of them.
Motherfucking Cantu just associated.
I'm done.
Just associated this demon bat with Pokemon on our podcast. He's like, you gotta catch them all.
He's playing team. Conjuring Go. I ain't playing that motherfucking game. Fuck that. You gotta go around find elements of the Conjuring and shit.
Beelzebub, I choose you.
Shit. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is you.
I don't know what to say now. After that.
Your rating. What is your rating?
So I agree with y'all. This is my least favorite one, but I really, really do like this one. I agree. The scariest part was in The Conjuring when they first talked about Annabelle. That scared me. I'm gonna be straight out. Conjuring is my favorite. The first Conjuring is my favorite. It's in my top 10. I gave that a 10, and no lie, I don't know why that movie. I used to play it when getting ready to go to sleep.
That was one of the movies we had playing in the background just to have noise going on.
And sometimes I would I would wake up and a movie was on and I would start watching it and then I'd fall asleep. I don't know. That's my favorite ones. When I found out what Annabelle really looked like, it scared me even more because I don't know how many Raggedy Anns I had. I had Raggedy Anns and Raggedy Andies.
Yep. That's the
So I
thing.
was like, what? But I give this one an 8.
Híjole.
And I've seen all 3 Annabelles, and this one's my least favorite, but it's up there.
Okay, so that takes us to a 28. Bringing in simple math between the 4 of us, it gives the movie here at Castapod, we rank it a 7.
Which is not that bad.
It's decent.
The world gives it a.
Why does that robe keep popping up?
I don't know. The outside world gives it a 6.5.
We're just a little bit better than them.
What
Most
does
people-
Latvia know about Raggedy Ann?
Most people give it a 7. That's the highest picked score. I mean, most amount picked 7.
Hey,
the least
that's what's
being
up. Log that in, Josh. Log that in.
It's locked.
I had Raggedy and Andy, just like the clown from Poltergeist. I had one of
She
those.
had that damn clown.
That was serious business right there.
Yeah.
With the silk
Serious
pajamas.
business. We had
Yep.
a lot of crazy shit back in the 80s, man.
We did. When I
A lot
saw
of crazy
you guys
shit.
for the first time and I saw that clown, I threw my clown away.
Hey, you know what's something? Hey, check this out. I was watching this thing right on about the on Netflix or something like that. I think it was about the Tylenol killings back in the day, and out here in Chicago and shit.
Yep.
And I was a kid when that shit popped off, and I remember it very, very, very fucking vividly and shit. Right. So my daughter, she asked me, like, "Were you scared, about the Tylenol thing when you were a kid, about getting it and shit?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Why? Why weren't you scared?" I said, "Because we can afford Tylenol. That shit was expensive." White people only use Tylenol. Black people use Bayer. So we were straight.
I had Tylenol.
If you looked up the history of Bear, realizing how, man, you know what I just found out today? You know
Wait,
what
we might get in trouble for that one.
That big ass bear bottle, man. It was like that. It
We
looked
had-
like a cologne bottle.
Back when they used to prescribe meth out to the goose stepping, I ain't gonna say straight legged marching people. That Bayer, that's back when Bayer was buying test subjects from those straight-legged marching people, allegedly buying people up. 75 of those people are dead, so we had to change our medicine up. We need 75 more.
Allegedly.
I know it's
Allegedly.
not alleged, right? You know what's
You
documentation,
can't say that. You can't.
right?
Can't say.
Yeah,
You
no,
can't say.
no, it is. Hold on.
It's allegedly. Okay, it's the allegedly segment.
I was just
Okay.
joking. That's the comedic part of my whole thing. See,
Right.
I be doing comedy. I'm
Definitely.
comedic. When I say alleged, it means not alleged at all.
Definitely not two brothers from that part of the world. I won't say Germany, that also happen to be, straight leg marching type people. Definitely did not make the shoes that Jesse Owens ran in, and when he decimated everybody and broke all those scores and all that. And definitely those two brothers did not get into a huge argument.
It
and
didn't
break
cause a
up.
split.
Didn't cause a split. And one brother makes Adidas with his straight leg marching, throwing people in oven self, and the other brother made Puma. No, that didn't happen either, allegedly.
It's alleged.
Not getting involved. These aren't the tracksuits you're looking for.
You know that when I used to play capoeira, I allegedly had a pair of Puma sneakers with Ferrari tire tread for the sole.
Oh,
I remember those.
When I
I've
played
seen
capoeira.
those.
Yeah,
I've seen those.
yeah. It sounds like a flex, but they wasn't worth shit, man.
I remember those.
Yeah.
One sneaker got to another. Yeah. Because if you had those, you own some shit. You was on some shit if you had them.
I was playing capoeira.
The last time that I played capoeira, I was Eddie Goro in Tekken. That's
Last time I played capoeira, I was in Woodlawn Park on the tennis court and made a good friend get mad at me.
Oh.
Was that like yesterday?
Was there a guy standing there with like a bow attached to a bucket and he was hitting the strings like, and then people were going, banana way, banana way, banana, banana.
That was in proper classes. I was out there in the streets. Like I said, I was at Woodlawn Park.
Shout out to Only the Strong.
Oh my God. Worst movie ever made.
No.
That's not the worst movie. I've seen worse.
It was not Lambada, the Forbidden Dance.
Oh wow.
Shabadoo.
Shit.
Have you guys seen the new the last Final Destination?
Nope.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
That is not my final destination of movies. Is there any? Have you seen it, Cobweb?
We won't be seeing that movie for a while.
Is there any scene in that movie that will from this point out traumatize generations of people where you cannot drive behind an 18-wheeler with logs on it?
Cut the shit.
What?
Just cut the shit. If they traumatized over that shit, these kids, they're all fucking set. I'm tired. I'm tired.
There are millions of people who, as soon as you get behind a truck that has like telephone poles on it or logs and all that, you're like, final destination, switch lanes.
Well, that's just normal. I mean, it's stuff like that just normal. I mean, that's probably what a good horror movie does. It scares you in real life, makes you think twice about shit.
Is there anything that prevalent that
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. It was
Annabelle's been captured again. I think that's important.
I would see it. If you liked all of them, I'd like it. I'd watch it.
Okay.
And Cantu wants to set up he wants to do a, what is that? Annabelle Trace symbol. You want to track her down? I ain't doing
I'll
that
look
shit.
for it. I'll try to see what happened after that story because that shit was funky. And last I heard, she had, what was that?
What's wrong, Deborah?
I tried to put Annabelle on my phone to look up on TikTok,
Yep.
and it wouldn't let me put her name in.
Wow.
You see?
So,
You see? They haven't rounded her up.
very important. Hopefully Riverside clips this. That way we don't have to do the work and search for it ourselves. But very important. If you or your family or anything like that, anybody listening to this pod, if you see Annabelle out in the streets, call us immediately at 786-763-2278. Let us know where you saw Annabelle, where she can find. Do not follow her if you see her anywhere, but let us know where she has been, any appearances of Annabelle, anything like that. 786-763-2278, the Annabelle hotline. Call us and let us know where you've seen Annabelle.
And for your own
I ain't even
safety, if she's behind the door, don't open that motherfucker.
I'm not even answering the damn phone.
And definitely do not use the back few pages of a Bible to roll your smoke or anything like that. Especially if they're hanging on the wall.
I would.
Don't.
Josh, look,
I
she was
would.
spotted in Atlanta.
I don't know, man, how many I did.
Oh shit! Look,
I would.
Annabelle's been sighted in Atlanta. She's
What?
Part 4.
Once again, if you have seen Annabelle anywhere, if you have clips of her and you want to send them into social medias, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at Cast of the Pod, or if you need to call in the emergency Annabelle hotline, 786-763-2278.
Yeah, let us know where you found Annabelle at so we can make sure that we ain't there. Okay, yeah. Send us all the clips you can find of Annabelle on the run. I want to see all this shit. Send us every single one.
Annabelle on the run. And on the run. Oh, sorry.
I still don't understand why they took her on tour. Like, why?
Because they were amassing strength. They're trying to do something.
The same kind of mindset that would take Annabelle on tour is the same kind of mindset that would open that door in the first place.
Knowing
Because
what
Their door's already been open.
Yep.
It's already been open, bro. They already took it out. Once they took it out, why would you do that?
I don't know.
And
Money.
supposedly, when they left on tour, they had another, like, the box that she was in at the museum. They took her out of that one and put her in another one. So they had already, like, taken her out.
Right.
Like,
So somebody had to move her out of a box.
yes,
That's why
Somebody had to make physical contact with her.
yes,
That
the guy that's doing the tour.
You put the box.
no,
You put the box in a box in a
no.
box in a box.
No, this is wrong.
On so many levels.
It's wrong. You can't do that. I mean, why would you do that stupid ass shit? I mean, it's not supposed to be done like that. You know, there's a reason why they put these movies out. That's the reason why they came out with these movies. They came out with these movies to let us know in case some stupid shit pop off, that we'll know what the fuck to do. Okay. So we know, like, hey, the Annabelle doll. We're like, oh, let's go see it. Well, the people that saw the movies, we know, like, wait a minute. You know, that shit ain't supposed to be done like that. It's a warning. And these people are up there forgetting the warnings. They don't care. They think it's funny. It's not.
Oh, maybe they're just listening to our cold open on our podcast, and they're taking the warning, and they don't care about the accoutrement or nothing like that.
The fucking accoutrement. The fuck, Josh?
They had these ghost hunter people, and they went to the museum, and they were doing like a ghost thing, right? They have the door open, and Annabelle, they have the door open while he's sitting there trying to talk to her.
Why are they so close to it? Is that for real?
Why is he trying to be Kenshi from Mortal Kombat, the blind ninja,
to get some fucking likes.
Look, they
To
have
get some
a-
fucking likes.
like, why do you need
Attention is a fucking drug, people.
Why is
Attention is a drug.
Why is Annabelle sitting there all like, "Sup"? You see
I've
that?
noticed like in different videos, she's sitting different. Like one, she has her legs like open and has her hands
Right there. That's how
like
she
that.
is. She's like,
and then there's
"Sup."
another one where she has her legs closed and she just has her hands crossed over her legs.
There's another one where she's got a hand
They
behind
probably
her.
move it. They probably. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, they're moving it. They're doing it all wrong.
She's thinking that they moving it or something like that. Oh, did you move it today? Yeah, sure I did. I thought you moved it today. I thought you moved it. Oh, it's Annabelle. Ha 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 ha. That's funny. That's what she does.
Oh, they're gonna learn. They're gonna learn.
Just to get some fucking likes, man. Just to get some likes, bro. To
All
get
right,
some
gentlemen.
people approval that you don't even know, man. What the fuck is wrong with these kids, man? What's wrong with us today? And what's wrong with these humans?
Team FTK.
Take
Fuck
me
them
away.
I can't even find that guy's post anymore.
because he's gone.
He already took the money and left.
Take me away.
Cow.
It's someplace else.
We're an hour and a half into this. I think we're done. And then
Well, we only spent 15 minutes talking about the movie, so it's cool.
I was gonna say
It's all good,
eight actual minutes talking about Annabelle.
right?
42
All right.
minutes talking about 28 inches later.
See, that's all you.
Yep.
I did, no doubt. I'm trying to save our people, our pod people, Club 3P. Don't do it.
The
Don't.
message I got was that's the best $5 you ever spent.
You was doing the Chuckie and listening wrong. It's just-
Fuck
Said he
that.
wanted his $5 back.
Man. But all right, y'all. So until next time, I think we'll end it here. Don't forget, don't sign out yet, gentlemen. But shout out to Club 3P. Shout out to all our pod people. And anything else, Deb? You want to add anything in there? Any accoutrement?
No, I'm good.
Cantu?
Thank you for having me. I really like doing this, and there are honorifics associated with my being here, and I really, really like doing this with y'all.
Awesome.
I really like having you on here as well.
Yep.
Cobweb, anything you want to add into the pod?
Cobweb leaving the house, baby.
All right. So until next time, we are the Cast of the Pod podcast, and you have been warned. Peace.